So friends, this is paper second, chapter 4, sources of electromagnetic waves. Today is 1st January 2021, and I have shown certain diagram here. Now remember, the title of the chapter is sources of electromagnetic waves. Now first of all, we will try to understand what these waves starts, what this particular word electromagnetic stands for, what it represents, why it is used in physics, what are its implications or what are its applications, and that is what all such things we are going to discuss here. Okay, now this is what electromagnetic radiation. So I'll just write in brief what this particular word is. Electromagnetic. So these are actually two words, electric and magnetic, and we are using another word, that is electromagnetic radiations. Now let's see. In our everyday use or in our everyday life, we see several different examples of these electromagnetic radiations. In fact, we are able to look, we are able to understand, we are able to interpret the world around us with the help of these electromagnetic waves. Means what? We have a source of radiation, heat radiation. So somehow in our room some heater is kept, and at a certain distance from that heater, at 1 meter, 2 meter or whatever, you feel this particular heat from that heater, or a source of heat is kept it at your room or very close to you. You feel the heat from that particular source at your skin or in your skin, at your skin. So what is that brings that heat energy, I am calling energy, from that source to you? That is what this electromagnetic radiations. In fact, these are called as infrared radiations, and these infrared radiations carry energy from that heat source to you, and that is one very common example. Second example I can give here is as I will say, the entire universe I am saying, may it be galaxies, may it be stars, may it be planets, may it be earth, or whatever present around us inside on this earth, maybe your houses, maybe you yourself or anything. We are able to look all these things because of these electromagnetic radiations, and that is what the light. Had light not been there, what would have happened? Light had not been there, we could not have seen anything and would have been completely blind. So this is possible, that is, we are able to see the world because of this tendency provided by nature to us, that we are able to sensitize or we are able to sense the radiations, basically, which are the solar radiations. So radiations given from the sun, these radiations fall on the earth, and that's why we are able to see everything around us, maybe solid, liquid, gas, buildings, roads, vehicles, anything. You just name that particular object, we are able to see that particular objects because of the radiations provided by the sun. And that's why you might be knowing that sun has given so large importance in almost every culture, every religion, every scientific theory, that without sun nothing would have been possible, or we could not have existence. This earth or this life or anything would not have any existence unless there are the radiations from the sun. So sun is one of the greatest source of birth, greatest source of inspiration, greatest source of life, greatest source of energy and everything. So all we depend upon the sun as far as our existence is concerned, our interpretation is concerned, our knowledge is concerned, our everything is concerned. So we are live today because of the sun. That's why sun is like a god. We call sun to be a god in our Hindu mythology. Sun has given a stature of the god. It is more than god, because the gods are after sun. First there is a sun and then there are gods. So sun is the first one such an entity inside this universe, or at least in our solar system, that because of that we owe this particular life, or our life is because of the sun. That's why the electromagnetic radiations from the sun, these radiations are falling on the earth surface, and because of that we are live. then whatever sources of energy we are using, like coal or petroleum or anything. Okay, so these are the radiations which were fallen on the earth surface before millions year, billions year or something like that, and from that this particular flora and fauna was generated, that is these plants and all that generated, and years after years there is some internal restructuring of the earth, and in that case this particular flora and fauna that get converted into oil and coal and anything, and this is what the sources we are using today. So the source of energy for today is again the energy which we received by the earth before millions or billions of years and before than that, and this is what we are using as a source of radiations today. Then this is what a practical applications. We are live because of the sun, we are live because of this electromagnetic radiations, we are able to look around us because of the electromagnetic radiations, whatever energy sources we are using. This is again the form, that electromagnetic energy from the sun which has been converted into this fossil energy like petroleum, like gas or anything other, coal, etc., and we are using this as a source of radiations. Then we use in our everyday life. You might have heard about this X-rays. X-rays are the special type of radiations which are basically used to look inside the human body, to look the fracture inside your hand or leg or anything. These X-rays are used. They have some special tendency, and then there are certain other radiations or the tools we use every day. Maybe your mobile, maybe your remote controller of this particular any device or TV. All these devices, technical devices, they depend or they work on the principles of this electromagnetic energy. So our remote control is using electromagnetic radiations. X-rays are used in this your medical treatment, and apart from that there are other several applications of that. Then one more source of radiations which very commonly we come across is that is called as ultraviolet radiations. So these ultraviolet radiations you might have seen in case of welding. Whenever a person welds two metals or together, in that case such type of welding is the process called as welding, and in that case certain very high energetic radiations are generally given out, and these radiations are again of the special type. These are called as ultraviolet radiations. Remember, the radiations which we receive is only very limited, that is related to the radiations of the sun. Had sun had different radiations available here, then our eyes would have been perceptible to that, but the nature has provided a very small window for us. Entire this electromagnetic spectrum, out of this electromagnetic spectrum we are able to see only very limited number of radiations, and this entire spectrum, that is what we are going to describe here, that is called as electromagnetic waves or electromagnetic spectrum. So this is what a typical history or the everyday experience of that, and in that case we have heard these names. Okay, so I just make a list here. So first one is heat radiations. You also can write this, heat radiations. Basically these are infrared radiations or electromagnetic waves. Then we have talked about another case is that is called as X-rays. X-rays, that is called as X-rays, or basically used in medical applications. Then third, visible radiations. Visible means that is what we are able to see. आपण जे एकमेकांना पाहू शकतो, this is called as very visible radiation. So this is actually sunlight. Sunlight. This is visible radiations. We are going to discuss everything about this later on. Then fourth type we have just now discussed is in ultraviolet radiations. Ultraviolet radiations. Then fifth, sometimes we have heard about this. This is called as gamma radiations. Gamma radiations. Then next you might have heard about, this is called as microwave radiations. Microwave radiations. Then seventh, you might have seen radio and TV waves. Not seen, but you are using this radio, TV, or mobile waves. Okay, and all these are electromagnetic waves, EM waves. Electromagnetic waves. So all these are electromagnetic in nature. This is what called as electromagnetic in nature. Now this is a list, long list is there. We are going to discuss everything about this in this entire chapter. What these radiations are. So this entire chapter is, what are these radiations, what are their properties like wavelength, their frequency, their energy, etc. Then what are the sources where these type of radiations are generated, then how do we sense this, what are its applications. All these things we are going to discuss in this chapter number 4. So chapter number 4 is electromagnetic waves, their sources, their properties, their radiations, their other things, their applications, etc. That is what we are going to see here. Okay, now I will just show one thing again, very one simple thing I'll show you here. This is what let me show one animation there, and once you show this animation, so Swapnil, are you able to see this?
Yes, sir.
दिसतंय का, काय दिसतंय?
Screen is not visible, sir.
काय दिसतंय काय?
I can't see this.
No. I'm showing you. So just 1 minute. I'm showing you what. Just a minute. I'll just. नाही तुम्हाला आता दिसतंय काय मला सांगा. I just want to show this. Just a minute. I'll just show you. ही डायग्राम आपल्याला येणारच आहे परत, पण त्या अगोदर तुम्हाला एक गंमत मी दाखवतोय. व्हॉट दिस इलेक्ट्रोमॅग्नेटिक रेडिएशन्स आर. ओके, आय जस्ट वॉन्ट टू शो दिस रेडिएशन्स टू यू. नाउ जस्ट लुक ॲट दिस. बघा आता दिसेल. नाउ व्हॉट आर यू लुकिंग? स्वप्नील,
screen is, I can't see the screen, sir.
Why?
I can't.
I'm showing screen. आणखी दुसऱ्या कोणाला दिसतंय का स्क्रीन?
Yes, sir. दिसते सर.
काय दिसतंय?
दिसते ना सर.
Animation दिसतंय. So that animation shows you. Now this is what the light is. Light ही अशी आहे. काय आहे? It is electric and magnetic fields. So the radiations which are passing from some source to some sensor, source and sensor. Your eyes are sensor and there is certain source. So whatever light coming from that source to your eyes, that light is traveling in the form of electromagnetic radiations. Now look at this. This electromagnetic radiation shows you as shown here. This is shown to be E, electric field, while this red is shown to be the magnetic field, that is B. So electric field and magnetic field, these fields are varying with in such a manner that this particular field is carrying energy in the form of the fields, and thereby these radiations, this is what electromagnetic radiations, they are reaching to our eyes. And I have shown there are two vectors, this is B bar and E bar, that are shown to be two different types of fields, electric and magnetic fields. These fields are perpendicular to each other and they are traveling in the direction as shown to the x-axis. So here I have shown magnetic field is in the z direction. Actually in your textbook we are using different direction. Here electric field is shown in the y direction, and both these fields are traveling in the direction of x-axis. So in this case this type of wave is traveling towards your eyes from that source, and we are calling it to be an electromagnetic waves. Now this is an animation, one should remember forever entire life. So whatever radiations we are looking here, now you are looking at your screen, and this screen or whatever happening on this screen, maybe your mobile screen or maybe your laptop screen or computer screen, what you are looking here, that is happening on this screen, that is reaching towards your eyes with the help of such type of radiations from each and every dot. या डायग्राम मधल्या प्रत्येक डॉट कडून काहीतरी रेडिएशन्स निघत आहे आणि ते रेडिएशन्स तुमच्याकडे जे पोहोचतं आहे ते पोहोचण्याचं काम या पर्टिक्युलर फिनॉमिना होत आहे. सो लाईक दिस इलेक्ट्रिक अँड मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड्स आर देअर, दीज फील्ड्स आर व्हेरिंग विथ टाइम and these fields are oscillating, and this oscillation or this type of wave is traveling towards that particular screen to your eyes, and we are realizing this is the nature of this electromagnetic waves. Okay, so let me stop.
सायनोसाइडल वेव्ह ना सर.
Yes, it's a sign. आपण याच्याबद्दल बोलणार आहोत, सगळे बोलणार आहोत, but that is later on. Now just let me make it off and I'll just show you again our screen earlier. So this is what these electromagnetic waves I have drawn. इथं मी थोडासा चेंज केलाय. Z direction is changed to be X direction, Y direction is same, and X direction has been changed to the Z direction. So because this आपल्या पुस्तकात या प्रकारचं पिक्चर दिलंय त्यामुळे मी तसं थोडं चेंज केलं आहे. ॲक्च्युअली दिस इज टेकन फ्रॉम विकिपीडिया, सो इट मे हॅव डिफरंट नॉमिनेशन्स, डझंट मॅटर. सो दिस इज हाऊ इलेक्ट्रिक अँड मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड्स. Okay, now we have seen what are the fields. You might be knowing the fields. These fields are traveling towards the z axis with certain velocity, and that is what called as wave velocity or the velocity of the light. We are going to discuss something about more than that. So this type of radiations are called as electromagnetic radiations. Now here, as we have discussed, this is another figure that shows you. Again, actually we are this type of this diagram we are going to use several times in further discussions too. Now there is written something here. Diagram दिसतंय सगळ्यांना?
Yes sir.
Yeah.
नाव काय डायग्राम?
This is electromagnetic. Red color दिसतोय, red, ultraviolet वगैरे सगळं दिसतंय, infrared. This is
Yes sir.
Look like that.
काय दिसतंय?
Red.
Yes. आता आपण बघूया. So this is what names we have taken. आपण cosmic rays बद्दल फारसे काही बोललेलं नाहीये. So these are certain radiations called as cosmic rays. Now we start with this gamma rays. Then this is X-rays, ultraviolet. Then the spectrum shown in between, that is from violet to red. So this is in between ultraviolet and infrared. There is a spectrum. This is called as visible spectrum. Now look at this visible spectrum. It is 400 nanometers, or we can call it to be almost 4000 angstroms. You might have heard this word earlier. Up to 7000 angstroms. This is what the band which is called as visible band, and we are able to see only this band. This is what visible radiations. Beyond that there is infrared radiations, then microwave, then radar, then radio, then broadcast band, and so many things. In between there is some infrared. Infrared is the heat radiations. Now look at the upper part of this. Here also you have shown. This is called as wavelength. So this is in 10 raised to minus 12 meters. So you can imagine how small this would be. Up to 10 raised to 3 meters, that is 1 kilometers. From 10 raised to minus 12 meters up to 10 raised to minus 3 kilometers is called as wavelength lambda. And lambda is the distance. Suppose this is a wave, and this is the distance between two crests or two troughs. You can take this or this. This is called as lambda, or this is called as wavelength. So this varies from 10 raised to minus 12 meters up to 10 raised to plus 3 meters, or that is called as 1 kilometer. So the waves, electromagnetic waves, may vary from 10 raised to minus 12 meters to 10 raised to 3 meters in terms of their wavelength. That is the distance between two peaks. Okay, so this is how
C is equal to V lambda.
अरे तू पुढचं जाऊ नको, मला सगळं शिकवायचं आहे पुढे जाऊन. You don't go so ahead. 3-4 lectures will be required to reach that point. So this lambda is the distance between two peaks of these waves, which we have seen earlier diagram, and on the basis of that we classify this electromagnetic spectrum as shown, which start from this cosmic radiations and which ends at this broadcast or this TV waves or light waves or long wavelengths. So from short wavelengths to long wavelengths, this entire spectrum is called as the spectrum with which we are able to look at the world. आपण जगाकडं किंवा ह्या संपूर्ण सृष्टीकडे आपण एवढ्या प्रचंड वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारे बघू शकतो. फ्रॉम कॉस्मिक रेड्स टू रेडिएशन्स टू दिस लॉंग वेव्स or this radio waves or the broadcast waves or mobile waves. and in that all other things comes like cosmic, gamma rays, x-rays, ultraviolet, infrared, microwave, radar, radio, broadcast. So this range is from -12 meters to +10 to +3 meters. So this entire range, out of that a very small window, not even 1% of this electromagnetic spectrum, म्हणजे हा इलेक्ट्रोमॅग्नेटिक स्पेक्ट्रम मधला 1% भाग सुद्धा आपण आपल्या डोळ्याने पाहू शकत नाही, विच इज कॉल्ड ॲज visible spectrum, and this is the spectrum which we are using from the sun. म्हणजे सनचे जे रेडिएशन्स आहेत याच्यातला हा पार्ट फक्त निसर्गाने आपल्याला बघायची परमिशन दिलेली आहे. याच्याशिवाय जो पार्ट आहे, अल्ट्राव्हायोलेट असतील, गॅमा रेडिएशन असतील, कॉस्मिक रेडिएशन असतील, मायक्रोवेव्ह, रेडिओ वेव्स, ब्रॉडकास्ट वेव्स, वी आर नॉट एबल टू लुक ॲट दीज वेव्स. म्हणून आपल्याला दिसणारं जग किंवा हे युनिवर्स आहे ते खूप छोटं दिसतं, ते खूप कमी दिसतं आहे. And that is because of these possible radiations which are from 4000 angstroms to 7000 angstrom, which is called as the visible spectrum. So there is a violet, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. आपण जो 7 spectrum म्हणतो, 7 colors. So all these colors are involved there in the visible spectrum. आपल्याला जे सप्तरंग दिसतात किंवा जे इंद्रधनुष्य दिसतं, ज्याच्यामध्ये हे जे रंग दिसतात ते रंग फक्त ह्या इलेक्ट्रोमॅग्नेटिक स्पेक्ट्रमचेच असून तो अतिशय छोटा म्हणजे 1% सुद्धा नाही, इतका छोटा पार्टचं जग आपल्याला दिसतं. उरलेलं जग हे इतकं प्रचंड मोठं आहे, युनिवर्स मोठा आहे, एवढ्या प्रकारचे वेगळे रेडिएशन्स आहेत. आपल्याकडे काही डिव्हायसेस आहेत विच आर एबल टू सी दिस. ह्या प्रकारचे उरलेले रेडिएशन्स तुम्हाला वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारच्या डिव्हायसेसमुळे दिसू शकतात, पण डोळ्याने दिसणारे रेडिएशन्स हे फक्त एवढेच आहेत. आजचा हा सगळा आपला इंट्रोडक्टरी पार्ट आहे की ज्याच्यामध्ये आपल्याला हे समजून घ्यायचं की व्हॉट आर दिस इलेक्ट्रोमॅग्नेटिक वेव्स, व्हॉट इट इज कॉम्प्रोमाइजेस ॲट. अँड नाऊ आवर सेकंड पार्ट स्टार्ट्स, दॅट इज दिस हिस्ट्री ऑफ दिस, म्हणजे हाऊ वी रीच्ड ॲट दिस स्टेज ऑफ टुडे ऑफ अंडरस्टँडिंग ऑफ दिस इलेक्ट्रोमॅग्नेटिक रेडिएशन्स. या इलेक्ट्रोमॅग्नेटिक वेव्स समजून घेण्यासाठी काय करायला लागलं, म्हणजे व्हॉट आर द थिंग्स, हाऊ दिस ह्युमॅनिटी केम टू दिस पर्टिक्युलर स्टेज ऑफ अंडरस्टँडिंग ऑफ दिस इलेक्ट्रोमॅग्नेटिक वेव्स. सो दिस एंटायर इलेक्ट्रोमॅग्नेटिक स्पेक्ट्रम, दिस ultraviolet, infrared, visible spectrum, how this classification could have been done, how measurements have been done, how these radiations have been identified, why they have been given different names, etc. etc. This entire history is to be understood, and that's what we are going to go for. Certain names, very important names of the scientists who had given all these concepts of this. So give a next title here, historical perspectives. Historical perspectives. Historical perspectives of EM waves. So what are the historical perspectives of EM waves? Almost before 500 years, I'm saying 500 years, no one was knowing anything about its nature, but there are several phenomena like lightning. What is lightning? Lightning म्हणजे आकाशात ढग आल्यानंतर जी वीज तुम्हाला दिसते. People were not knowing anything about this. It was completely unknown, not knowing anything about this. Later on, I'm not going name of the scientist. Some people found there are certain charges. Okay, charges. Now from where these charges come? Now when we might have heard this, when you are sitting on the plastic chair, after you get up from that chair, certain charges are introduced between you and that particular chair. So from where these charges? So such type of charges were identified by people, and they found that there are two different types of charges, positive charge as well as there exists negative charge. So people or scientists could find there are two possible type of charges are possible. Now this theory is known to you, I am not going to repeat the things here. There are two different types of charges existing in nature. So this is what? Two different types of charges exist in nature. That was again a human understanding. then आपण नक्की कोणाला कळलं ही आपल्याला सांगण्याची आवश्यकता नाही, बट दॅट वॉज द इनिशियल अंडरस्टँडिंग. अँड नाव वेन एव्हर देर इज समथिंग मूविंग, वेन movement of charges, then this is called as a current. So till that the things were very very blur. No one was nothing knowing about this, only we were knowing that there were charges, positive and negative charges, two different types of charges, and whenever these charges move through certain conductor, okay, charges, movement of charges through some conductor, it causes a current, and we use symbol for that is I. Okay, then next to that, later on it was found that now this name of the different scientist comes here. I will just make a list. Now first person in this series comes to be Coulomb, 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 Augustine de Coulomb. So what is his Coulomb's law? Coulomb's law. What that law tells you, the force between two charges, like or whatever different types of charges, this is given by q1 into q2 divided by 4 pi epsilon 0 into r square. So this relation between the forces and the magnitude of charges, or the force and the magnitude of the charges, whether it is attractive or repulsive. And it was found that positive and positive charges, there is a repulsion, and when we take positive and negative charge, then there is attraction. And this force of attraction or repulsion was given by, of course, by enormous study he did, and based upon that his law, he devised this particular law which is called as Coulomb's law. And this Coulomb was the first scientist who could talk something about the charges and their interaction. This interaction showed there are two different types of interaction. There is a repulsion as there is an attraction. So repulsion between two positive charges, which is given by same equation, F is equal to q1 q2 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 r square, where r is the distance between these two charges. Whereas in case of positive and negative charges, the force of attraction comes in place, and therefore this force also is given by F is equal to q1 q2 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 r square. Actually this is static electricity. This is static electricity. You might be knowing this. The next person come in this case is called as, his name is Oersted. 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 What he invented? He invented the current carrying conductor or wire. Carrying conductor produces magnetic field. So before that, concept of magnetic field was known, magnetism was known, magnetic materials were known. So magnetism was known before that. So Oersted proved current carrying conductor produces a magnetic field. For example, if this is a conductor and if it is carrying current I, then there is a magnetic field is produced around this. So there you draw this type of line. So these are the magnetic field lines. मराठीतून सांगू बा. ओरस्टेडने असं सांगितलं की ज्यावेळेस कुठलाही करंट, तुझा आवाज येत नाही मला. अरे इंग्रजीतून शिकायचं आपल्याला, मराठीतून शिकून कसं चालेल. ओके, सांगतो मी काय. तर हा पहिला कुलॉम्सने असं सांगितलं की जर दोन चार्जेस असतील वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारचे किंवा सारखे, तर त्यांच्यामधला फोर्स ऑफ अट्रॅक्शन हा या इक्वेशनने देता येईल. q1 q2 अपॉन 4 पाय एप्सिलॉन 0 इंटू आर स्क्वेअर. एप्सिलॉन 0 इज सम कॉन्स्टंट. खरं तर 4 पाय एप्सिलॉन 0 इज सम कॉन्स्टंट. आर इज द डिस्टन्स, या दोन चार्ज मधला डिस्टन्स असेल आणि q1 q2 हे त्यांचे चार्जेस असतील. मेन टाइम हाऊ टू मेजर चार्ज, म्हणजे त्याच्यासाठीचं युनिट वगैरे हे सगळं या लोकांनी काढलं होतं. अँड दिस पर्टिक्युलर पार्ट इज कॉल्ड एज स्टॅटिक इलेक्ट्रिसिटी. नाव इन केस ऑफ मुवमेंट, आता चार्जेस मूव्ह करायला लागले, whenever certain current is passing through this particular charge conductor, there is a magnetic field is introduced around this. This magnetic field, this particular concept was given by Oersted. Okay, याच्यामध्ये आपल्याला फार डीप जायचं नाही. You are having separate topic, subject over that. in the second semester. We are just going to introduce contribution of different people in understanding different types of phenomena. This is one person. Then fourth, another name is Ampere. He is another scientist who showed that when two wires carrying certain current in the same direction, now there is force of repulsion between. That means these two wires repel each other. And when I carry this current in one wire is this in direction, and second wire is having current in this direction, now these two wires attract each other. So here these two wires repels, these two wires attracts here. So this is what the concept given by, that is called as Ampere's law. So Ampere has given this particular idea about the current carrying conductors and their interactions as shown by this particular diagram. Then another important person came here, that is one Michael Faraday, and a great contribution was done by this person. He was actually chemist. He was equally potential, or he has equally has his contribution in chemistry as well as in physics as well as some other branches of science too. So what is that? He showed that varying magnetic field induces an electromagnetic force. Okay, I'll just write here, varying magnetic field produces electromagnetic force. Actually lot many things are there. या माणसांबद्दल बोलण्यासारखं खूप आहे. म्हणजे आपला डायनोमो जो असेल तो तुमचा करंट तयार करतो किंवा इलेक्ट्रिसिटी तयार करतो, किंवा एखादी कॉईल घेतली आणि त्या कॉईलची मुवमेंट केली की तिथं इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड म्हणजे तयार होतं, किंवा दोन मॅग्नेट्स असतील, मॅग्नेट्स एकमेकांपासून आपण थोडेसे मूव्ह केले की दुसरा एखादा करंट लूप ठेवला तर त्याच्यामध्ये इलेक्ट्रोमॅग्नेटिक फील्ड येतो. सो ऑल दिस इज कॉल्ड एज फॅराडेज लॉ. So varying magnetic field produces electromagnetic force. This concept was given by this particular scientist whose name is the Michael Faraday. Okay, so actually today we will stop here because you have to join for the next lecture maybe after 2-4 minutes. But there are several different types of scientists. Actually what we are looking, we are looking historical perspective of the electromagnetic waves. That means from simple understanding of charges to this electromagnetic radiations, how we reached step by step, that is what we are understanding. So in the first case we try to understand what lighting is. In that concern the concept of charge came. Later on it was known, नंतर असं माहित झालं की चार्जेस दोन प्रकारचे असतील, पॉझिटिव्ह आणि निगेटिव्ह चार्जेस, आणि या चार्जेसची मुवमेंट म्हणजेच त्याला आपण करंट म्हणतो. सो सर्टन कंडक्टर, सर्टन मटेरियल्स आर देअर which are able to pass these charges through them. And why this is possible, that is what is called as conduction phenomenon. So only certain materials allowed to conduct these type of charges or go charges from one location to another location. Some materials are not. So conductor, insulator, etc. These type of concept came, and the symbol for current I is used from that time. त्याचबरोबर in case of static electricity, later on it was found by Coulomb that there is a force of attraction or repulsion between two different charges or two similar charges. And this particular force is given by F is equal to Q1 Q2 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 into R square. So there is either repulsion or there is an attraction. Now when these charges are in motion, that means whenever a certain charge is flowing through a certain conductor, it gives rise to a certain type of magnetic field. So before that magnetic field was known. म्हणजे त्याच वेळेस मॅग्नेटिझम माहित होतं, मॅग्नेटिक मटेरियल्स माहित होते. मॅग्नेटिझम हा वेगळा प्रकार आहे हे पण लोकांना माहित होतं. So what is the connection between this electric charge, its movement and magnetism? That was given by Oersted. At the same time Ampere showed that these two current carrying conductors, if they are carrying current in the same direction, then they repel, whereas if the two conductors are taken in such a way that the current carried by these two are in the opposite direction, then they attract. What is this interaction between the current and this attraction repulsion? That was understood by Ampere's law. You might have studied this earlier. And another very big name comes in the series, that is Michael Faraday. So Faraday's law of electromagnetism, or this Faraday's law of electromagnetism, that played a very vital role in the understanding of this electromagnetic radiations and so on. So more about this we will discuss in tomorrow's session. So today we will stop here and we will join another lecture for tomorrow. Okay, thank you all. Just a minute.